What's going on, people of the internet? My name's Denny, or Denny Cigarette, and today we're going to be going into the story of the time I tried bath salts or Flaka for the first time. Before we begin, I'd like to say that according to YouTube analytics, only 25% of you are subscribed to the channel. So if you could, please press the subscribe button. It benefits me and hopefully benefits you because you'll get more content out of me because I'll be more motivated to upload. There's also something else I wanted to cover. Before we begin, there's two things. Number one, make sure you always test your drugs. I will leave a drug testing kit link into the description for you to purchase. It can last over 3 to 6 months, and it saves lives. Secondly, I'd like to define what Flaka is, or at least the Flaka that I'm talking about, that I've tried. Now, what people say when they refer to Flaka is called alpha-PVP. It is a pyro it works very similarly to methamphetamine or cocaine. It basically blocks the reuptake of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine while also releasing those three neurotransmitters. What I tried is called Alpha-Pihp. It is an analog of alpha-PVP, and it has the exact same action on the brain with varying potency, and maybe some other pharmacological action we're not really sure of. And this can be quite concerning because we don't really know what these analogs do to the brain. So I do not recommend trying this unless you are willing to accept the possibility of long-lasting brain damage or neurotoxicity. With that being said, I'm glad we got that established. Now let's begin the experience. So, start this off. I had ordered some A-Pihp from an undisclosed location, place, etc. And I bought an 8-ball, and I had decided, okay, this is for reference. This has been it was on my bucket list for quite a while of drugs I wanted to do. So I had decided that this was the proper day to do it. I had some money in the account. Let's get this shit going. So I bought it, and I had oil burners left over from like methamphetamine use and this and that. So that's basically what I was smoking it out of. And yes, you can smoke bath salts. It's a very popular way of doing it. People also slam it, snort it, eat it, whatever. But my preferred ROA, or route of administration, was smoking. So basically, I had loaded it into a pipe, right? And it comes in like this like chunky, I don't really know, like kind of, like, I don't know if you guys have seen like dried caulk, like the caulking stuff for like, I don't know, building stuff, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like dried caulk, you know what I mean? It's that type of powdery situation when you like kind of scrape it off, if that makes sense. And so I loaded it into the pipe, took a big hit, the full twirling it back and forth, trying to get as much vapor as I could. And I got a bell ringer of a hit. I mean, it was huge. And I remember this feeling in my chest of just like pure bliss, this like forming, and it was like super intense, kind of similar to MDMA, but without the waves of euphoria. It was very focused on one spot in my body, along with a very strong cognitive euphoria, extreme stimulation. I also felt a lot of vasoconstriction, which basically means your blood vessels kind of constrict a little bit, but it was nothing too bad, or at least none that I noticed. But hindsight's 2020. I have done research, and it does show that a lot of these pyros that people are taking, disguised as Flaka, can cause thicker blood and damage to the heart and all that. So you never know, right? But and basically, I was kind of on call with Perky, who we had on it in a few episodes ago about the time I took a fake Molly, and I just kept smoking. I kept smoking and smoking, and that's the one thing I noticed immediately is that I just could not put the shit down. I just kept using, like, even more than meth, I could not put the shit down, like, no matter what I did. I mean, I was fucking sneaking outside to go hit it off a tinfoil. I was doing, like, all this shit just to, like, be able to keep on doing it, and this was, like, every 10 minutes we're, like, back to it. And then, so eventually, like, I'm chilling. I'm kind of just hanging out, and it slowly, the day turns to night. It's about 10 p.m. at this point, and I kind of like almost hotboxed my room with the vapor. So I decided, okay, let's go out into this like back area of my yard and let's do it there. So I was smoking out there. I'm still on call with Perky, and I remember having this distinct paranoia come over me that I have felt very familiar, kind of similar like crack, staying up for a few nights on crack, but it was a lot more intense for just the first like 8 hours of use. So I'm sitting there, and I like slowly became like kind of like full on paranoid, like kind of psychotic. I was sitting there and I'm like, yep, this is the day. I'm getting fucking arrested. I know I'm getting arrested. It's going to happen. The dogs are here. People have called the police on me. God damn it. Why did I do this? Like, the thought process I was having, I was obsessing about like getting arrested and this and that, about the intense paranoia. So I'm sitting out there, and eventually I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, if I get arrested, like, let's do it. So I go out and I open the door and I jump out and I'm like, arrest me, and I'm screaming this. I'm like, arrest me already. And it took me about like 5 minutes of yelling this to realize like, oh shit, no one's coming. Which was a really big reality hit, and I was like, oh shit, like, damn, this is what stimulant psychosis kind of feels like. So, and keep in mind, I was like hearing barking, I was hearing rustling and stuff that wasn't there. Like, I was really like convinced that this was it. This is me getting arrested. They sent the dogs after me. Like, I truly thought like this was gonna be it, which is really scary to think about, because this was only within my first 8 hours of using it. I can't imagine the paranoia and borderline, like, not even borderline, like full-on psychosis people probably experience from doing this for like 3 to 5 days, like with meth abuse. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go in, and I need to take a break from this. So I put everything away. Once again, I popped, this, like, I think 3 750 milligram somas, which I'll also do a video about in the future, by the way. And I just, like, out of light. Wake up the next morning, I'm fucking trashed. I feel like shit. It's kind of similar to like an MDMA come down. You just feel like horrible, you know. And I just gotta say, like, I would not recommend this to anyone. Definitely was not my brightest idea, and it definitely led to me continuing with stimulant abuse for quite a considerable amount of time before eventually like coming to my senses. But anyways, guys, so that's my experience with bath salts or Flaka. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the sub button and press the like. Once again, drug testing kits are in the description. Make sure you follow the Instagram. I post updates and stuff like that. And also, I will be streaming every day from 3 to 6 o'clock. If you guys want to tune into the stream, I'm streaming here on YouTube. And I might move over to Twitch, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good evening, night, morning, whatever time you're listening to this. And yeah, deuces.